So in previous episodes of the podcast, namely designing your morning ritual and how to make New Year's resolutions stick, I've talked about how much I love waking up and working out. The reasons for this are many, including the research-driven data that shows how exercising in the morning actually gives us more energy as opposed to the widely touted myth that working out early drains us of energy. Again, the reverse is actually true, not for everybody, but for most of us. Not only does working out in the morning help us become more energetic, but it actually can set a powerful series of events in motion to help us create more productive days, more productive weeks, months, and years for ourselves, both personally and professionally, right? So I got a lot of different questions after people had heard these two specific episodes, and people were asking about how to wake up and work out, right? How do you wake up early and work out? So I've put together a little list here that we're going to talk about in this episode of the podcast. Now, back to that series of events that you can put into motion. If you wake up early, right, and you wake up early and you exercise, then you're not rushed like most people are, right? So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll wake up, the alarm clock wakes them up, and they're frantic and they're just already late. The moment that they hear the alarm, just bam, 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 they just run out of bed and they frantically just do their stuff in the bathroom, get in the shower, get out of the shower, quickly just just put on their clothes. If they've got a family or if they've got kids, then they yell at the kids, get up, we're late, we gotta go. They've just run out of the door like a hurricane, leaving their household with grabbing a donut or some other unhealthy, sugary, carb-laden, crappy food as they run out of the door and, just rush to work and all the stuff that's going through their mind they got to do for the day. They haven't planned out anything. They're just rushed, frantic, panicking, barely make it to work, putting on the tie as they're walking through the door, and then boom, they sit down, and that's when they begin their day. That's how they start their day. That's how a lot of people begin. They begin in panic mode. They begin in frantic mode. They begin their day in the sloppiest possible way that you could ever imagine. You think setting up your day that way sets you up for success? I don't think so. Imagine the opposite, right? Imagine getting up an hour or so before everybody else, right? Imagine getting up, giving yourself time to feed your mind, to feed your body, to feed your soul, to exercise your mind and your body, and to think about what you want to do for the day, and to set yourself up when everybody else is frantic, when everybody else is panicking, when everybody else is disorganized and has no clue what's going on. They're just barely making through the day and just reacting to different situations as they arise. On the other hand, you've already set yourself up for the day. You've already exercised your mind, you've already exercised your body, and you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, and you're going through the day, and you're feeling good about yourself. This is what exercising in the morning can actually do for you. And I'm not joking around, I'm dead serious right now. Just giving yourself that extra hour can have an immeasurable impact on your level of effectiveness, right? So for instance, if you wake up early and you work out, right? Give yourself 45 minutes or more to work out. Then something I call the endorphin effect happens, right? A naturally produced chemical known as endorphin begins to surge through your body, giving you a natural high. It's also known as runner's high, if you've ever heard of that. And what this does is it actually is literally a chemical that your body produces, and it kicks into your body because it's meant to mask the pain that you're putting your muscles through when you lift weights or when you do hardcore cardio. Right, as a quick side note, when you're lifting weights, you're basically ripping and tearing your muscle fibers, right? The reason why muscles actually grow in size isn't because of the lifting of the weights. It's actually because of the food that you eat after you lift the weights and rip your muscle fibers, right? So when you tear up your muscle fibers in the gym, you need to put nutrition-dense foods back into your body in order to give them a reason to rebuild, right? And if you want them to come back bigger, which is what a lot of us want, it's best to optimize your diet, your nutrition plan accordingly, right? So you wake up, you go to the gym, you get these endorphins rushing through your body, making you feel good, giving you that natural high, making you feel fantastic. And then now you get out of the gym. Once you've gotten out of the gym, you've got the endorphin rushing through your body, but now you also feel really good about yourself, right? For having gotten up early and for having worked out and exercised, because you know that most of the other people that you know probably didn't do that. It's pretty hard to get up early. It's pretty hard to discipline yourself and condition yourself and eventually turn this into a habit. And there's a reason why a lot of people are looking into how to do it, because a lot of people haven't figured out how to do it because it's difficult to cultivate this into a habit, right? And if you start doing this little by little every day, knowing how difficult it is and knowing that you've achieved something that's hard to achieve, once you walk out of the gym, another chemical starts surging through your body. In addition to endorphin, another one called dopamine, right? This is what I call the dopamine effect, right? You start feeling good about yourself. And this chemical surges through your body as reinforcement. Okay, it gives you the feelings of positive reinforcement for having done a good job. It's the same chemical, it's the same feeling that you get when you cross something off your to-do list, right? Why does it feel so good when we cross something off our to-do list? It feels good because we get a little surge, a little dash of dopamine that surges through our body, from our brain, when we cross something off. It's the feeling of accomplishment. It's the goal-achieving chemical. Okay, so now you've got endorphin surging through your body, man. You're feeling good. You've got dopamine surging through your body. You're feeling phenomenal. As the day goes on, now you're in your car, right? You've gotten ready. You've changed out of the gym. You've gotten showered up. You put your work clothes on. Now you're headed to work, right? You're feeling like a champ. You already know that no one else in your peer group, none of your other coworkers got up as early as you did to work out. So that just makes you feel even better. And you're driving to work, and you get there and you start to do what you got to do. How much of a better routine is that than barely getting through the door? Than the opposite, barely getting through the door, not giving yourself that extra time to nourish your body, to nourish your mind, to sort of give yourself that extra boost of enthusiasm and that extra boost of personal wellness, that health, that vitality of just energy that bursts through your body when you start it off and jumpstart your metabolism with an exercise routine. There's just nothing like it. It just feels phenomenal, right? So hopefully at this point I've enrolled you into actually getting excited about doing this. And now what I want to do is let's just talk about how can you get yourself to actually wake up early and to actually work out, right? So how do you do this? So tip number one, you gotta plan it out. You gotta plan all your workouts out before you step foot into the gym, right? You can write it down, or you can get an app like Gym Buddy to keep you on track. And you gotta have plans, you gotta have goals, and you gotta keep yourself on track in order to do this, right? Otherwise, you'll end up screwing around and leaving early. Tip number two, picture yourself doing tomorrow's workout today. One of the things I do every single night before going to bed is to whip out my phone and go over my workout routine before the following morning real quick before I call it a night, right? I envision myself crushing it in the gym, right? Doing every single exercise and hitting new personal records every single one of them, for every single one of them that I do. Yes, it helps, and yes, it makes a difference. Right now, what I'm doing is I just keep my workouts in an Evernote checklist titled just Dean's training program, and then the week number next to it. And but that doesn't really matter. The tools that I use change from time to time, but the process doesn't. Okay. Tip number three: set it and forget it. Place your alarm clock far enough away from your bed so that you just need to literally physically get out of your bed in order to shut that thing off. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Whatever type of alarm clock you use, whether it's your iPhone, your Android, your tablet, your regular conventional alarm clock, whatever it is, put it somewhere that requires you to physically get out of your bed to shut it off. Because when you do that, you've already started putting your body in motion, right? And when you put your body in motion, you can help it remain in motion. And when you do that, to get up and shut off your alarm clock, that's when you need to catch yourself and follow tip number 4, which is to never, ever hit the snooze button. Just 5 more minutes rarely ends up being just 5 more minutes. You know what I mean? I've done it many, many times, and maybe you have too. Don't let your mind trick you into hitting the snooze button. Don't do it. Avoid waking up 2 hours later and kicking yourself for missing a workout. Don't do it. It feels terrible. It's not worth it. You'll feel guilty about yourself. It'll impact the rest of your day. Just like starting off in a positive way can impact the rest of your day, starting off in a negative way can too. It's not worth it. Don't hit snooze button. Don't do it. Tip number 5, jump out of bed like a machine. All right. Sometimes I wake up like with such intensity that my poor wife, I scare her out of her beauty sleep. You don't need to necessarily jump out of bed, but you do need to feel as if you wanted to, right? Be robotic with it. Wake up and go. Don't think about it. Just wake up and go. Don't think about how little you slept last night. Don't think about how many things you need to do that day. Just as soon as your alarm goes off, just get your body out of your bed and get moving. Get moving, because then you'll stay moving. Tip number 6, prep your pre-workout supplementation. If you take any pre-workout stuff, prepare it all ahead of time. It'll help you. It's like a habit ramp, if you've heard me talk about that before. You know, one of the things I like to do is I like to have a pre-workout drink before I go into the gym. And because it's powdered, what I'll do is I'll just put it inside of an empty shaker, right? And I'll place that next to my bedside table, right next to a bottled water before I go to bed at night, so that it's ready for me to consume along with my vitamins as soon as I get up in the morning, right? So if you're wondering what I put into my pre-workout drink, it varies, but it's usually just a powdered mix of caffeine and branched-chain amino acids and buffered creatine, monohydrate, and a little bit of arginine. And then my vitamins, vitamin C, regular vitamin, multivitamin, vitamin D. So, you know, if you're looking for sort of a set of just ready to go sort of supplementation, just at least get yourself a multivitamin. You know, if you drink coffee, do that. If you're not into supplements, just do whatever it is that you need to do. But if you do take a pre-workout supplementation of some kind, then just prepare it the night before, because it'll make your life a lot easier. And then finally, step number 7 is to just prep your attire the night before. I go to sleep with my gym clothes on. You know, I'm a dude, so that's usually just a pair of sweats and a tank top. If you're a female, you might need to do some other things. But if you can't do that, then just pick out exactly what you need to wear to the gym the following morning. Have it ready to go. If you go straight to work after your workout, then bring your toiletries and your work clothes with you to the gym so that you can get yourself, ready and prepped and all that stuff, showered right there, when you get to the gym after your workout. So just a quick review here. That's all the 7 steps. That's everything. If you are trying to do this, if you're trying to wake up early, you're trying to work out, first, plan it out ahead of time. Second, envision yourself doing tomorrow's workout today. 3, set it and forget it. Put your alarm clock far away enough so you have to get up out of bed to shut that thing off. 4th, never hit the snooze button. 5th, jump out of bed like a machine. 6th, prep your pre-workout stuff ahead of time the night before. And then finally 7, prep all your attire, your shoes, your clothes, everything that you need for the gym. And after the gym, if you're going to stay there and get ready, just prepare all of your attire and all your clothes the night before. That's it. Hopefully this helps you. If you want the show notes for this episode, just go ahead and go to meaningfulhq.com. Just click on the link in the show notes. If you're listening on iTunes, click the little info tab. You can click the link and it'll take you straight to this article with all of this stuff written down for you if you need more information. Hopefully this helped you. I'm Dean Bokhari. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Meaningful Show podcast, and I will see you on the next episode.